Hey everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at one of the new iterations of Railroad Inc. This is a roll and write game. This is Railroad Inc. Challenge. Railroad Inc. Challenge here, and the one I'm looking at is the Shining Yellow edition. They've got different colors with a couple of different, minor changes in them. As I said, is a roll and write game. Now, there's been some previous editions of this, a red and a blue, and they were largely the same game, but simpler. This one's got more stuff going on. There's a green and a yellow now, which are the two new ones here. In the game, you're going to be rolling some dice. They show tracks, either railroad tracks or highways, and then the players will be marking those on their own dry erase board, trying to connect various things, trying to traverse across various things, and scoring points for doing that. So I'm going to show you a little overview of how this works, what it looks like on the table, and I'll see you on the other side. To play the game, you're going to give each player one of these dry erase boards right here, dry erase marker, and then we use these 4 dice. Now, if you want to play with one of the expansions included, and we're taking a look at the yellow one, right? Then it comes with 2 expansions here. We're going to go ahead and throw that in, let's say. You're going to shuffle up the goals. If you're playing without one of the expansions here, then you reveal 3 of these cards for the core set. If not, then 1 comes from the special abilities, the ones that are tied to these dice, and then 2 others that come from the core set, right? And then you are ready to begin. So normally you play 7 rounds. These dice might modify that. So right now we're going to be playing with 6 rounds is what it says. And the way it works is someone is going to roll all these dice. You're going to roll all the dice and you put them somewhere in the center of the table. And everyone then is going to utilize these dice. You have to use the white ones. These are usually optional, okay? You will draw the railroad tracks and the highways onto your board in order to achieve various things and score victory points. If you achieve these things, you're also going to score victory points. So, for example, the first player to have a highway that is 6 length is going to get some points. People who do it after that will get fewer points. This one is connect 2 opposite sides of your board. So if you do that, you're going to get some points. And then everyone, again, does this simultaneously. So I might take, you'll see some exits here on the board that lead out with highways and railroad tracks. So I might draw this one, for example, right here, like that. You're going to draw it, put the little lines, that's that one. Then I might use the next one over here, which looks like this. So I might draw that one. And then perhaps I'll use this exchange one, which has a station in the middle. So that would go like this, with the station in the middle there, highway coming out this side also, and then the track going this way. And then maybe the other one I'll attach to that one like this. Now you want to avoid in this game things that are unattached to anything at the end of the game. You're going to lose a victory point for each one that goes nowhere. They're just connected to nothing, okay? And so you're going to be scoring for a few things. That one's going to penalize you, but you'll be scoring victory points for many things. If you connect these exits, you make a big network of them, ideally, and you're going to score victory points. So if I can connect 4 of these exits to each other, I'm going to get 12 points for that, okay? And so on. You're going to score every connection. So maybe I'll just connect these 2 right here. Well, that's only 2 connections. That's 4 points. You're going to be scoring as you cover and go across the 3 different little buildings that you see. They'll give you bonuses. So the little houses here are just going to give you straight up victory points. Connecting the factories, or writing, drawing something on the factories, is going to let you reutilize a die face that was rolled. And then over here, the little yellow ones, those are going to let you, when you do 3 more, you'll get another bonus face of any one of these. You can always, once per turn, use one of these bonuses. So right now, if I wanted to, I could utilize another one of these. And I could cross it out and say, okay, besides all of this, I could also draw this one right here. And I just did that. And so, you get bonuses again for these locations that you are going across, all right? So I did 1 this round. I can't use another bonus die, but if I can cross all 3 of these off right here, I can get yet another one, because you can only use 3 of these I believe it's 3 per game. This lets you do 1 more. Besides that, though, these 2 dice can be used. And of course, depending on the dice, you'll have special abilities, something that they do. The rule book will show you what it is that those things do. So this one has the cacti over here, oases, there's the arid face, and they'll explain to you how those things score, what they do, how they score. You want to have over here a group of the cacti, and that's going to be the bonus card for this one. I'm not going to go over all the little things that those do, but that's the general idea. Once everyone is done utilizing these dice for sure, maybe these if they want to, maybe taking a bonus, maybe doubling a die, or using a special ability, then we go to round 2, in which you re-roll all of this, and we do it again. They also say that you should put a little number of the round in which you drew into a space right here in the top corner. So all of these things happened during round 1, and then whatever I add on to this during round 2, then I'd put a little 2 right there, okay? So, let's say I got that, this is a 2, and so on. And again, you are trying to connect these different locations. So this one is connected to nothing right now, but if I can connect these somehow, like so, then those 2 are connected. The switch over here connects them to each other. Okay? So there you go. That's what you are doing. And you're going to be scoring, like I said, for various things. You'll get the bonuses, the connections. You also get points for drawing in the center 9 there. That'll be bonus victory points as well in the game. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the entire thing, after 6 rounds in this case, or 7 if you're not using these, is going to be the winner of the game. So there you go. That just gives you a general idea of the kinds of things you are doing on the board, the things you're going to be rolling, the things you are trying to utilize in the game and score. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of this edition of the game. All right, so let's talk about Railroad Ink. Challenge here. The original Railroad Ink., the blue and the red, those are the 2 original ones, I thought were all right games. I thought they had a lot going on each round in the game, okay? And I thought they could get a little messy. They didn't look the greatest. They look really good, clean, before you start. And then you start drawing things, and it starts to get a little janky, a little, sort of messy. This one kind of doubles down on that in many ways, because the game is more complicated, and there's more going on. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down. I'm going to tell you about the 2 main distractors, or detractors, rather, that I've got with the game and what I think of it, okay? The first one is the aesthetics. As I said, I think the graphic design here is good. I think the game's look is messy. These boards should be bigger. It just doesn't look great on the table. As you start connecting things, the little square, they expect you to draw a track in there, and maybe some cacti, and a number in the corner, and all this stuff just looks like an absolute mess once you've played 6 or 7 rounds, right? So that I don't like. I don't like the look of this game. And then the other thing is the game art. This game is extremely slow and sort of just difficult to play, and I'll talk about that. You're rolling 4 dice, maybe 6 dice, based on if you have an expansion in there. And then you're using 4 faces, or 5, or 6 if you double one, or 7 or 8 if you're using the extra dice. That's a lot to do on your turn, and it's very slow. It's a game in which you just put your head down and you focus on the dice on the table and the sheet in front of you, and you forget you are playing a game with anybody else, really, until every 5 minutes or so, where you look back up and go, okay, are we ready to roll again? And then you roll again, and you just, whoop, you're done, It's hard because you don't have the dice. They're not your dice. Now, they give you a little player aid across the bottom of the top of your sheet, where you can, mark which things got rolled, and as you use them, you cross them out. But it's easy to lose your place. It's easy to go, okay, well, I crossed off this little feature, so I get to double a die. I get to use one again. Okay, which one am I going to double? What do I want to do? oh, I still got to use that one. I haven't put that one anywhere yet. And it's just really, it's a grindy game. It just feels that way, okay? Now, the other thing, which isn't quite as bad of a negative, but I still think it's somewhat problematic, is the ease of play. You want to make sure you don't forget your place. Like I said, you want to make sure you are doing everything you're supposed to do. And this is that kind of game that is very prone to, I feel, players making mistakes that they don't mean to make, right? Doing things, forgetting to do things, forgetting to take a bonus that they don't mean to forget. So there's that. Now, things I do like, the theme. I think the theme in this is lovely. You know, the little city building connection game going on is very nice. It's a nice theme. And I think the replay value is quite high, even before you throw in the extra stuff. And there's a lot of extra stuff. There's 2 expansions in here, but there's 2 more in the green, and then a bunch of them that came from, I guess, their Kickstarter. So if you go down this rabbit hole, you will be entertained for a long, long time, assuming you enjoy the game. So the replay value is very good. And then lastly, the tactics and strategy, I think, is good. There's plenty to do. You can try to connect locations. You can try to rush to the center and fill that up. You can worry about getting the special buildings and unlocking those things. You can try to, utilize your special once per turn faces in very interesting and strategic ways. So there's plenty to do. You just have to have the patience and the specificity to make sure you're not forgetting to do any of that stuff, okay? So there you go. Overall, for me, I think there's a lot of better roll and write style games out there that move at a nicer clip, don't look as messy in front of you, and manage to still give me the things I like about this one, that tactics, the rich tactics and interesting things to think about, okay? So there you go. That's what I think of it. So this one from me is going to get a 6 out of 10. I certainly wouldn't advise you to not get it, but you want to make sure that you are someone who is very meticulous, both with your drawings, that you are very meticulous with your note taking, or that you're noticing the dice, and just being careful overall. There's a lot of things to concern oneself with in this game. So 6 out of 10 from me for Railroad Ink. Challenge. And that's going to do it for me, everybody. My name is Z. Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.